That's right, guys. Ryan back with another video. Ahsoka Tano in the house from Clone Wars, and shout out to Pop Collectibles for getting this to me super fast. They have these in stock if you want to pick one up. Link in the description below. Discount code down there if you want to save some money. This right here is one of the most anticipated figures of 2022 for me. And honestly, really looking forward to the next version as well. But this one's like, this is hit you in the feels. And I know there's so many people out there who have not watched Clone Wars. And if you haven't watched Clone Wars, you don't understand the connection to this character. You just can't. I've seen people out there going, hey, it's a great figure, and why does this, and what is this? And I haven't watched Clone Wars, and I'm going, you guys are missing out, man. You're just missing out. And I would encourage you, we talked to Yost from Jazz 8 Collectibles, and I encourage them to go watch Clone Wars, because Ahsoka, one of the greatest story arcs in all of Star Wars, went from one of the most hated characters ever, disliked, like annoying characters in the first season or so of Clone Wars, to fan favorite, iconic, hero, just beloved, just amazing. So go watch that. And if you don't watch all of Clone Wars, watch the last 4 episodes of season 7. It's good stuff. But even if I went back, I know I'm rambling on this, but it's fine. I'm not even worried about spoilers. If you haven't seen Clone Wars, whatever, it's on your fault. When she was betrayed by the Jedi Council, and then she left the Jedi, one of the most impactful I mean, you could tell that really had an impact. That whole scene, that whole scenario had an impact on kind of pushing Anakin over to the dark side. You could tell before that, but that really kind of like his trust for the Council, like big deal, like huge impact. Character, huge impact on the rest of the Star Wars and the Skywalker saga. Huge. So that's my rant on that for a second. The box art is normal Star Wars box art. There's nothing fancy going on here. There's an insert of the actual figure. You can see that right there. It's fine, whatever. You're not here to see box art. Let's take a look at the figure. All right, so these are all the accessories we're going to go with Ahsoka, and I think, honestly, it's all you need based on the fact that we're probably not going to be doing a lot of crazy poses with those seamless elbows and arms and whatnot, so this is what we got. So we have, on her right, we've got her little poncho, which, honestly, I kind of dig. And this is the reason I actually bought 2 different Ahsokas. I bought 2 of them, so I could have one with this look, with the poncho, which is very reminiscent of the one we got with Qui-Gon Jinn. So there's that. It is very, very clean. There's pretty much no weathering on it whatsoever, but there is some nice texture, so that's fine. You can see kind of the detail of that. So no issues with that whatsoever. And we kind of move across. We've got all these little, hologram figures. So we've got an Anakin, we got an Obi-Wan, we got a Yoda, and they all look great. They do not have 3 different hologram bases. Those are actually ones I used came with other figures. So you do get one. And I borrowed one from Dooku, and I think I borrowed one from Qui-Gon, somebody, I don't know, some other one. We got a little tool back there for moving the eyes around. We got 2 little swooshing blades, and then we get a whole pile of hands that you guys can see right here. And so I think they're sufficient. You got a fist hand, you got 2 saber-wielding hands, obviously they're on the figure. You got a force gesturing hand for the left hand. And then you got a hand to hold like the droid popper that's way back there in the back. You can kind of see it right there. The figure itself, I mean, this is what we're here for. This is what we're here for, guys. This head sculpt, while they did tweak it for the final release versus the prototype, it's very slight from what I can tell. It's like very slight. It almost has a slight Rosario Dawson resemblance, but it's not over the top, and it's not... They didn't go too far from the animated look. She's definitely taller than I anticipated her being when you see her like next to Anakin, which we'll do a little bit later with some poses. But she's a little bit taller than I remember her from the animated series. But I guess that's okay. It's not anything to be upset about. But the overall appearance of this figure is just absolutely just glorious. The movable eye system, the coloring on it. I thought I was a little concerned with what the figure would look like as far as like what color orange she would be. Would she be like an oversaturated orange? But it's not. I think it looks spot on from the series. The outfit, I guess, or the suit here, very well done. Definitely season 7. Some people would like to see some previous season releases of Ahsoka, and hopefully we get some more versions of her, but we shall see. Don't know. Obviously, we got the Mandalorian version coming out, but I kind of really like this Clone Wars version. There was some questions as far as the cut of the bottom skirt. You can definitely see scissor cuts. It's not like a laser cut where it's one smooth cut. You can definitely tell it's somebody or something cut it with scissors, but it's not over the top, and it's not anything that I would really be terribly, at least on my copy, terribly upset about. But it is definitely got that going. There's a slight little weathering going on her outfit, and then we go down to the boots, which are honestly just the normal Star Wars boots. One piece, nothing, no split cut boot, which is honestly unfortunate due to the poses and stuff we want to get with Ahsoka. Even if we can't like go crazy with the arms for an extended period of time, we could have had like some crazy like jumping poses or really like leg extended with ankles like going. But unfortunately, we're not able to do that because of the single boot, and that's a bit unfortunate. So I do have her holding the blades backwards, and we'll get her spinning around here in just a second. But I wanted to just touch on the accessories we've got right here. And I'm pretty happy with everything she came with. So let's see if we can't make this work. Let's see if we can get this. All right, there we go. We got her spinning around now. So let's take a look at a couple different things. Obviously, I am using the display stand to display the poncho. That does not magic. It's not using the Force. So don't think about that. And yeah, just kind of taking a look at some of these accessories again with the holograms. I think those are fun, but the main attraction here is obviously Ahsoka herself. So slight weathering on the outfit, nothing over the top, no weathering at all on her pants or tights or whatever the heck you want to call them. There's no weathering whatsoever on those. And we'll see if we can't stop this right here. We can check out the back. This is kind of how I've got the pose going on from the back of this figure. If you want to see this pose, this absolutely putting zero strain on those elbows, and you don't have to worry about any of that. So I do have the arms straight, and then I've got the actual wrist peg angled out so she can have those wrists kind of going backwards like that, almost like a broken wrist situation with both blades pointed up, which is something she was prone to do. But you can see like there's not a whole lot of weathering going on in this outfit, and as we go down to the boots, you can tell that's pretty much not a whole lot going on there as well. She does stand fairly well, so I don't have an issue with that. Sometimes with these figures, the female figures you've got with those boots or smaller feet, sometimes they don't stand all that great. I haven't had too much of an issue with that. So let's talk about this Ahsoka figure. Obviously, huge fan, Clone Wars, Star Wars, whatnot, and Hot Toys finally delivered on a figure that we wanted years and years and years ago that we never thought we were going to get, and now we actually going to have 2 of them. And one from the Clone Wars animated series, which is just crazy. I'm super excited about the Mandalorian version, the Rosario Dawson lifelike version. But if I had to choose at this moment, Clone Wars is the one I was most excited for. I went back and forth, but I think this one's one I was most excited for. So let's just take a couple look at the figure itself. I do have her just kind of simple pose, nothing crazy going on here. I love that it came with the seamless arms. We talked about in previous figures the jointed arms, and they look kind of strange. I mean, I have the indoor Leia, which doesn't have the seamless arms. It looks kind of weird, but she's got the poncho to cover it up. Ahsoka really doesn't have anything that would cover up the elbow joints. So having the seamless arms, I think, honestly, is a big win. However, it does limit your range of motion because of the, I won't say fragility of it, but the fact is their arms, if you're going to leave them bent for a long period of time, they're going to crack. It is what it is, right? There is a seam. Some people have mentioned like there's a seam you can see going like right down here. I don't know how well that's going to focus, but I'll try and do this. There's a seam you can see going right down here where the material, I guess, is fused together right there. It's on both arms. It's not anything that would bother me, but it may bother you. So that's something to be mindful of. The one thing I do kind of like is that the shoulder is separated right there. The shoulder is separated from the body, so you have full 360 motion on that. And if you actually bend the elbow, let's see if I can do this, it can go pretty good ways, and you got like a natural bend right here, natural crease, where if you bent your own arm, you'd have a crease right there, right? So it goes about there. Again, I'm going to show you poses where you don't have to bend them at all, because I think that's what most people are going to do. So be mindful of that. There is a ratchet on the knee, double joint, which is kind of ridiculous right there. But unfortunately, we have this single, Star Wars style boot action, which is a single piece and really quite unfortunate because of, Ahsoka does a lot of flippy flips. Like if there was a Spider-Man in the Star Wars universe, she would be it. Like she did crazy stuff along with Yoda in Attack of the Clones, but nonetheless, pretty good range of motion all the way around. The wrist, hands pop on and off easily. Don't have any issues with that. The sabers look great. We have the regular saber and then we have the Shota, and I think those are great. In fact, I actually have the two sabers from Galaxy's Edge I got with when I went down there in November, which was super awesome. And I really, really want the Rebels ones, but I don't have those. So if anybody has a line on the Rebels sabers, like hook a brother up, message me on Instagram or something. But I quite like this. The weathering on it, fine. There's no weathering on the actual pants area. There's some nice weathering on the boots, weathering on back here. I may have mentioned this already. I don't remember if I did. But there is a cut where her skirt, I guess, if you will, you can see where somebody actually had scissors and cut it. So it's not like perfectly smooth. And that might bother some people, right? I don't really, it doesn't bother me because I'm not going to get like that close on this figure and look at that. But some people out there, a little bit more particular than I am, I understand. But I quite like this figure quite a bit. And I'm super excited to have it in the collection. Finally, I actually have two of them because I'm going to display one like this. And I'm going to display one with the poncho on, which I have right here. If I can get this over here. And with the poncho on. And there is a wire that goes around this section here so you can fold it around her Leku and you can do whatever you want with that. There's a wire along this side right here as well. So if you want to kind of have it wrap around and do whatever you want to, there's some nice wires on it. This is something that I want to put on my second Ahsoka whenever she arrives. I know a lot of you have gotten emails from American distributors saying, hey, it's arriving. But it hasn't arrived yet, and you already got billed. And that's unfortunate. But I can tell you this, when you actually get this figure, you're going to be super happy that she arrived. So let's take a look at this head for a second. Let me pop her head off. Okay. All right, so there's that. So the way the head pops off is very simple. There's actually wires and her Montrose down here and here, so you can do that. But it's actually pretty neat. If you have a Hulk, it's got that similar, like, face removal deal, like face off. So there's a very, very strong magnet in here. So if I can pop this off real quick. I'm trying to do this. Okay, there it is. It's a very strong magnet. So there's, that section right there. And then here's the back of the head. So you do have a tool that kind of goes in there, and you see the little joystick like that deal in there, and you can kind of move the eyes left to right, up and down, however you want to do that. And they actually go in reverse, because it's backwards, right? If you want to ever look left, you got to move the little joystick to the right. The expression, I think, is fine. I don't have any issues with the expression. It's generic, which is fine for an action figure. We all know what happens when Hot Toys tries to go crazy expressive, and then people want to complain about it. But honestly, people are going to complain about anything. So there's that. I do have concern, just long term, on if you're changing out this head often because this silicone type body, right, neck peg here. This is the same material as this. So I could see if you were like removing the head a lot to mess with the eyes, like that might be a thing. You can see it's kind of like Jello, right? So there's that, or silicone. So let's see if we can't pop the head back on there. Overall, I am exceptionally pleased, but I guess really the only way to know it for real is to pose her up. Let's roll. All right, so you know we had to do it. We had to break out all kinds of Jedi, and we obviously had to bring Rex back into this. So this pose right here I thought would be kind of fun because I wanted to demonstrate some poses for you guys where you did not have to worry about the seamless arms and literally don't have to bend them at all. And I absolutely think you could leave Ahsoka in this pose for pretty much ever if you decided to do so. I don't think, including the previous one I showed you guys, just kind of showing the accessories, I think you could absolutely leave her in this pose pretty much forever in your collection and never have to worry about the arms bending or having any issues like that. So we've got Obi-Wan here, we've got Master Yoda, and we've got Anakin, which eventually we might actually get the Clone Wars Anakin, which will make this so much more epic, which honestly scares me a little bit because I'm going to have to re-destroy my display again to do that and whatever. So we're going all out with Ahsoka reposing all these figures, which is honestly just kind of fun for me. Sometimes, you know, it's a lot of work coming out with poses for these guys, but there's Master Yoda, which, you know, Sideshow has teased us with a Clone Wars Yoda. So we'll see kind of how that plays out in the long run, see what that goes on. But there's Ahsoka right there. I did move the eyes, so she's looking off to her left. She looks freaking awesome. We got Captain Rex. We got Obi-Wan here, which I don't often use these little swooshing saber effects, but I thought it worked for this. And then here's Anakin coming up. And guys, if you like this, feel free to borrow, steal, adapt, tweak any of these poses you happen to like. Or let me know in the comment section if you have a favorite. But I'm having a lot of fun with these guys. And we need so many more Jedi in the collection. So Hot Toys, like, you know, hook us up. You know, we need those things. So posing-wise, let's talk about poses with Ahsoka for just a second. Balancing the feet is not terribly difficult, but it is a little bit of a pain because of that ankle being a solid boot instead of a split-toe boot. So that is a little bit of a downside. The elbows, again, I don't have a bent in this at all. The wrists have plenty of play. There's no issues with like getting the hands on and off, switching those out. You don't have to worry about heating them up or anything like that. So that's nice. The eye function is pretty stinking cool. In fact, if I can, I'm going to try and pause this thing. See if I can stop it from... Oh, check that out. So my remote for my turntable actually changed the color of my light. That's weird. So, yeah, anyways, well, we'll just roll with that. But the eye function on Ahsoka is actually pretty easy to deal with. As you can see right here, she's kind of looking off to her side. I would definitely, if you're unsure of like what they should look at reference photos of just people looking off to the side. You can look at sculptures. You can look at all kinds of paintings, that kind of stuff, and try and emulate that. I don't claim that I've nailed it 100% here, but I thought I did a pretty decent job on this one. But yeah, you just kind of play around with that and make sure your eyes aren't looking cross-eyed or looking just weird. All right. So the head sculpt comes off. You pull the whole head off, and then the faceplate comes separate from her Leku. And so you want to be careful of that. Make sure you check the instructions. There are wires in her montrails, and so be mindful of that. They will move around, but I don't think you want to like go crazy with bending them. I don't think you want to do that. So I'm going to keep them pretty straight up and down for most of the time. But I do like the fact that she's looking off to the side. I dig that, and I like the fact that she's got plenty of wrist movement here, so I don't have to worry about anything crazy going on there. As far as you can get these crazy little angles going on. So I dig those. Again, here's the issues with the feet. Just a single place boot, and you can see this one right here. I've got it. She's kind of balanced right there, so it's not really flat like a Spider-Man you would be. So that's kind of a bummer. But dude, come on, it's freaking Ahsoka, guys. All right, guys, we got Ahsoka lined up with Rex and with Anakin with the 332nd Battalion, rocking and rolling, ready to go to war on Mandalore. And actually, wish we could see a little bit more of that battle. Maybe in the upcoming, Mandalorian Season 3, maybe we'll see a Siege of Mandalore. Maybe, I don't know. But regardless of that, here we are, Clone Wars, rocking. And I'm telling you guys, so you guys thought I was crazy with buying a whole bunch of clones. I do have a plan. I actually have more clones. Stay tuned for more of this video because I got something a little ridiculous in store. We'll see how that plays out. But here we go. We've got Ahsoka, we've got Rex, we've got Anakin, and these guys are just, when she first meets the 332nd and she's doing her little inspection, if you will, and, everybody's just super honored and happy that she's back, and they keep calling her Commander, even though, she's no longer a Jedi. They still had the respect for her. And this is just all kinds of epicness, in my opinion. So there's Rex over here kind of doing his thing, paying his respects. And then we've got, obviously, we got Anakin, who is just, after this, be giving her updated sabers. So, yeah. I wish I had a little box that he presented her with the sabers, but I don't have that. Maybe I'll have to 3D print one of those, and that might be a project for another day. But regardless, this is pretty cool, and this is what we were waiting on for years and years and years, and finally to have her here in the collection is just, it's just good. So I'm super excited for those of you who will be getting this figure eventually, and again, hopefully sooner rather than later. Unfortunately, Palpatine's plan for Order 66 was executed, and the 332nd, who had just had allegiance to Ahsoka, flipped. And here we go, now they're under attack. So Rex and Ahsoka are under attack by their brothers. And sad, super sad, even though everybody knew it was going to happen. For years and years, everybody knew this was going to happen. Did not make it any less sad. So here we go. So I've got another pose here with Ahsoka, outstretched with the arm. The eyes, and I'll probably show this in another clip, but the eyes are not very difficult to move around. But, it's not something you want to do all the time because you got to keep popping the head off, and it's a thing. So anyways, I didn't mess with them for this particular one. But we will kind of go through here and kind of see what we got going on. So I've got our clone brothers right here. Got a little 501st action. With this guy, and we got some 332nds back here in the back. Everybody's torn, struggling, and they've executed Order 66. And we've got Ahsoka and Rex back to back, trying not to injure or kill their brothers, just trying to get out alive. Meanwhile, Darth Maul, which eventually we'll get our Clone Wars Darth Maul. He's running off with the only ship to be able to get out of here. So much fun. So much fun to be able to do, just fun stuff like this with all these clones. And the fact that when I first got all these clones, Ahsoka was top of mind, obviously. In fact, I ordered 6 501st Deluxes at the same time I ordered Ahsoka. And so I'll tell you something. I had a plan. I do need some more clones. I am working on that. I think I've got a few more lined up to add to the collection, so we'll stay tuned for that. I don't know how many is enough. Palpatine certainly didn't have a problem collecting a lot of clones, so, why should I? But I'd love to hear your thoughts on this, guys. We're having a lot of fun posing Ahsoka up, and I'm doing poses where you're not going to bend the arms. I know that's going to be the number one thing everybody's worried about is bending the arms. You can bend them. I just don't think you would leave them in a solid bend for a while, but I wouldn't be afraid to do that. But I don't think I would, I don't think I'd leave him there for a very long time. But, yeah. And Rex is cool. Rex is always cool. Now, you might be asking yourself, how many clones does one person need? To which I would answer, that's an absolutely silly question. The answer is, they're freaking clones. You need as many as you can get. So I have piled up a whole pile of clones and other characters on this table. And it took me a while to do. And I think one of the things that's going to happen is I'm going to have to acquire some more clones. So Hot Toys, if you would, bring us some other versions of clones, different, battalions, and that would be amazing. So, yeah. So, obviously, we've got Ahsoka here. She's in the forefront here. We got Rex there. We got Anakin back there. Cody. And we'll just kind of zoom out here, and then we'll punch back in here in just a second. Let's see if I can make this work. Oh, there we go. There we go. So, there you go. So, there's a whole pile of clones. And, yeah, I'm going to need some more. I kind of ran out of room on the table. And, we've got other characters we could have added. But we were out of room, so yeah, pretty happy with this collection. Honestly, if I took a look at like all of my Iron Man figures and Spider-Man figures, and I just like troopers in general, but the Iron Man figures, as awesome as they are, don't give me as much joy as the clones, and that's just purely me. You might just really like Iron Man or DC or whatever, and that's fine. But for me, this like group family photo, if you will, I think it's kind of fun. But we'll kind of look around here and give you a little showcase on what we've got going on here on the table. Obviously, we've got Ahsoka, which is the focus of today's video. We've got Rex right here, which is just absolutely iconic. I mean, just all kinds of amazing. Really big fan of that one. And then we've got Anakin back there in the back. Obviously, on the right-hand side, we got a whole pile of 501st and 332nd. We've got R2 right here, looking all kinds of amazing. That is the Force Awakens R2. Maybe one day we'll get a Clone Wars R2. That'd be kind of cool. But that's the Force Awakens one. We've got our Coruscant Guards over here to the right doing their thing. Got one with the Electro Staff and one with this blaster right there. Whole pile of clones back here in the back. We got 332nd, 501st. Piles all the way in the back, and there's even some back there which you cannot see. Behind Anakin, you can see a little bit of a helmet. We've got Commander Cody right there. We got ARC Trooper 5 way back there in the back. Kind of hidden by Cody. Obviously, we got Obi-Wan looking all kinds of awesome. Look at this guy back here in the back. Who's that blue guy back there behind in the back? So we got him. We got Commander Wolf. We've got another 104th. We've got our 442nd back there. We got Commander Gree, looking all kinds of awesome. And then I have the sideshow Commander Cody with the Phase 1 helmet, who is carrying Waxer or Boyle. I get those two mixed up, but he's carrying one of those twos. And then we got Numa down here, which is just one of the coolest episodes in the Clone Wars animated series, I think. Obviously down here we've got Yoda and Grogu. So just having all kinds of fun. I think it's a cool set. I think it's been confirmed that Grogu was there at Order 66, so he absolutely fits in right here with Clone Wars display. So I think that's fitting. Obviously, I could have added some villains. We could have added Darth Maul and Dooku and Grievous and some battle droids. We could have added all kinds of different things, but we kept it to the good guys for this one. Can't wait till we get our Clone Wars Anakin. That one's going to be flipping amazing. I hope it comes sooner rather than later, and I'm just super excited for it. So I'd love to hear you guys' thoughts on this Ahsoka figure. Obviously, I'm enjoying it, but I knew I would. But did it turn out like you hoped it would? Did it turn out like you thought it would? Like, I don't think the likeness is like spot on. I went back and watched the final 4 episodes of Clone Wars in season 7, and I don't think the likeness is like 10 out of 10. But Hot Toys made it clear that they were going for a lifelike versus animated look. So, that's that. But I think she's a little slimmer and taller, more Rosario Dawson in the face sculpt than the animated sculpt. So, I'm not upset about that in any way. I just, want to point that out. The movable eyes was a very nice touch. Dig that. The hands, the accessories, even though I won't use most of them, I'm happy with the ability to pose her without bending the arms and have some good creative poses. I think that's kind of fun. But yeah, I'm pretty happy with this. But I've got one more pose for you guys, so let's hop to it.